Coach, obviously a lot of things to digest after tonight's game. What things are sticking with you right now?
Just the third quarter um, start. I thought our transition defense was really poor, but it started with inconsistent offense. We were playing decent defense um, in the first half. I mean, we held them to 19 points. We couldn't score, but that's going to happen. Once we get our legs and guys understand what we're doing on offense, I believe we're going to score a lot of points. But defensively, our transition defense put us in such a bind. And that's what's sticking out right now. The carryover from practice to the game hasn't happened yet, and it will. We just have to commit to our identity, playing hard every possession. To watch Gobert and Favors push our bigs around tonight, that was disappointing. And you can't play like that in any conference where bigs just continually get offensive rebounds and get fouled and get to the free throw line. So the transition defense and the physicality on defense, the commitment to our scheme on defense just wasn't what it should be, but it'll get there.
And just to follow up, Coach, Chris, like you said this earlier today, we know what he does. Just what would you think about his input? You obviously pick and roll with Ayton, found Bridges for a couple threes. What do you think about how he played?
It's his first time playing in a while. Even when he got with us, we didn't play a lot of 5-on-5 with him because he was getting himself back into the kind of shape he wants to be in. So guys are just starting to play with him. I think that pick and roll combination is going to be really good, not just for those two guys, but all the guys around them. And that was exciting and a positive part of tonight, just watching those two in pick and roll, and then watching Book and Chris, play with each other in the second quarter. That was good too. So there were some good things, but that third quarter, it just stunk. When you come out and play a decent first half, it wasn't great. But our third quarter tonight, to give up 38 points after playing a decent first half stings. But I thought that was good for us. It was good for Chris to be out there in that group because I know those guys are going to take those kinds of moments to heart.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Tressa Tudrick.
Monty, Langston, Galloway gave you guys a lot of production off the bench again, but it also felt like the offense kind of stagnated a bit without Chris and Devin. What were your thoughts on the ball handlers when those two guys were off the floor?
It's different. These guys are not used to playing in our point five. They're not used to playing in our auto offense. I don't want to use the excuse that it's going to take time. We just have to commit to it. The ball did stick way too much. I didn't think the floor balance was there. Sometimes we had the center at the top with the ball, our five, and then we'd have three guys on one side of the floor. When we're running it and everybody knows where they're supposed to be, we have great floor balance. We have wings and extreme corners. And tonight I saw way too many possessions where our point guard didn't get us where we needed to be, or the guys were just in a logjam on one side. And so that's a level of confusion for the offense, and that falls on me. I got to get these guys to understand every play. We got to do it the right way.
Sorry about that, Coach. Last one from me. What were your overall thoughts on the way Deandre played tonight?
I just thought the physicality, Gobert was really good tonight, and DA's got to enforce and impose his will. He's got to get in great shape so that he can be as dominant as he was in Orlando and in moments last season. Tonight, I thought their bigs dominated the game. Even when we had a great possession of defense, we gave up an offensive rebound. DA and DJ got pushed under the rim tonight, and that can't happen. Deandre is a physical force, and when he gets in great shape, he's going to show that. But tonight he didn't.
Next up is Tressa Tudrick with Channel 3, Channel 5, followed by Brendan Clean.
Hey, Coach, just a little bit more on Chris Paul. Through the cutaways on commercial breaks, we saw him being very vocal throughout time. Just what does that bring to the team, especially in games like this?
I think anytime you have a guy that's communicating things that can happen or should happen, or given their experience to other players, it's a good thing. with the veterans we have and Chris and Jay, who've been in so many situations, it's going to be a benefit to us. And that's where Deandre is going to benefit from those two guys. And, nights like tonight are when those two guys will step up and talk about what went wrong. Jay was huge in the locker room just now. He said it best. He's like, Coach, we just don't trust each other on defense yet. And it's right. We need more reps. We need to, practice with the same level of intensity that we need to play with. And having a guy like Chris and Jay sharing those experiences and giving their wisdom is going to be good for us.
Next is Brendan Clean with Bright Side of the Sun, followed by Christos Saltis.
Hey, Coach, it seems like you guys have built in a few sets to get Mikal going downhill on dribble handoffs and things like that to kind of expand what he's doing on offense. How have you liked his approach so far?
I think it's going to be something that we have to grow. We need another option outside of, Chris and Devin and from the outside in. And Mikal and Cam fit the bill for that. I want to grow those two. And DHO's going downhill and pick and rolls. And so Mikal has worked on it, and you can see he's more comfortable in pick and roll situations where he holds the guy in his back and he shoots his mid-range or he gets to the basket. So that's something that we want to grow as a team. And we have to have somebody else from the wings outside step up and be a primary ball handler at times.
And then speaking of that confidence, I guess, Jalen kind of flashed some of the face-up stuff that you and James had both talked about around the draft. What did you think of his, I guess, like I said, confidence in this first game starting?
I think he's getting more comfortable, but certainly not where he's going to be someday. Everything's moving so fast for him. There are moments where, he doesn't have the force that he needs to play with because he's thinking. It's not because he doesn't want to do it. He's thinking about what he should do instead of it naturally happening. And that's okay. That's what all young players go through. I like the fact that he's, attacking the basket. He's not settling for jump shots all the time. As he gets stronger and understands what teams are doing or what they're giving him, he's going to be even better. So we're starting to see, it's only been 2 games, but you could see some of the things that we liked about him, his ability to shoot the ball, use his length. He had one in the beginning of the game that I thought was a really good play for him. It was aggressive, and I think he's just going to keep getting better.
Next is Christos Saltis with Sport DNA in Greece, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Hello, Coach. What would you like to change on your team after the first 2 preseason games about the approach on the game and the way that they play on and off the ball? And also, we saw tonight both Chris and Devin Booker are vocal on the bench, on the floor. How important for you is to get involved the other guys and be vocal on every time on the game?
Well, as far as changing anything, that's not the answer. We have to improve what we do. We've shown the ability to play a certain way, and we have to commit to that, and we will. As far as other guys talking, I'm not quite sure how to answer that. I just think the camera is always on Chris and Devin. A lot of our guys are talking. Jay's talking, Javon, Langston, all of our guys communicate, but I just think the camera is always on Chris and Devin.
All right, final question is going to come from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Coach, you said earlier about how, it hasn't carried over from practice to games yet, and you believe it will. In what instances in your career, coaching your career, have you seen that where it's like, okay, we're doing this in practice and then it's not, and then what has eventually led to it translating into the games?
Every team I've been on. I mean, when you start the year, there's sometimes the defense is ahead, sometimes the offense is ahead. We've changed a lot of moving parts, and I don't want that to be an excuse because the parts we've changed, these guys are veterans. Yeah, it hurts not having Cam out there, Cam Payne and Cam Johnson and Dario and Jay, but the style of play shouldn't change. And so I think we just have to get more reps for sure. we saw it in flashes in the first half, and then for whatever reason in the third quarter, it waned and it went quick. And so every team I've been on, coaching and playing, that's the carryover that every coach wants. It takes time, obviously. If you're on a veteran team that's playing for a championship, they may pick it up quicker. But when you've added as many new guys as we've added, it takes a minute to get everybody acclimated to how we play. And when it comes, it's going to be good, but it's just taking more time to get the carryover from practice. Yesterday's practice was awesome. This morning's practice was awesome. And now we just got to get the carryover where we consistently do what we do in practice in games.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, Mikal, it must be pretty cold there. I see you bundled up. What do you take away from tonight's game? Like, the good, the bad. What things do you feel like your overall just impressions of the game?
We showed stretches of playing hard. The first half I think we did a pretty good job just playing as a team. Just being out there together, and then I think bad job with transition defense. Getting a lot of threes. Not trusting each other yet, on the defensive end, helping and stuff like that. But I think transition three, especially start the second half with the starters, we came out, we weren't ready, and they came off the jump right after that second half and made a run. So that's on all of us. And but we shown effort at times. We just gotta know how to do that for the whole 48.
Just to follow that up, Coach mentioned how Jay Crowder talked to you guys about that, trusting each other on defense. Is that just a matter of just new guys? Is that a matter of all you guys really trying to play together? What do you feel like is the reason or reasons for that?
I guess just you can make an excuse to say just little time, but we're all ball players. We're all smart. We all know how to play. So we just gotta go out there and execute. We're gonna go back tomorrow. Get ready for the Lakers on Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be better for sure.
Next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Brendan Clean.
Hey, Mikal, Monty after the game mentioned transition defense too. What are you guys lacking specifically in that area? Is it effort? Is it matching up with your guys' scheme? What is it exactly?
Effort, getting back, finding a man, not your own man, and just hustling, just shooting up in threes. And, I know we're tired, it's early. We're trying to get our win back, but like I said, we can't make an excuse. We got to go out there, play as hard as we can. But yeah, just, we just got to, not get our own man, find a man, and you just got to communicate with better.
Next is Brendan Clean with Bright Side of the Sun.
Hey, Mikal, Coach talked a little bit about how he's trying to get you involved with the ball in your hands a little more on offense, getting you going downhill with the dribble handoffs, maybe even running some pick and roll. Just what's that process been like for you over the past couple of weeks since you guys got back on the court, adding some of that to your offensive responsibility?
Whatever we need, man. Whatever we need. I'm gonna continue to get better. That means doing more. I'm here. I work hard. I know I'm always ready. But whatever the team needs, man. If there's a game I don't even touch the ball and I'm out there guarding and making cuts and getting people open, and we win, then that's what I want. So just whatever the team needs, man, 100%. I appreciate Coach, give me opportunity to go out there and play and just, be aggressive.
For sure. And then just another one for you, a little bigger picture. The schedule for the regular season is going to be pretty similar, where you guys are going to have some trips where you might play a team a couple times like this. What did you make of doing it that way? And I guess, was it nice to have the opportunity to go right back out there and try to fix some of the things from Saturday?
Yeah, it's fun. I've never been to playoffs, but it kind of give me, even though it's preseason, kind of a playoff type of, you just play them, you know what they're going to do. You're going to play them in 2 days again. So, I like I said, I've never been there. So, but that's the vibe it kind of gave off. And that's why we came out in the first half and played better than we did last game. and just finding stuff. You know, you watch film and you know what shots you have open and where to be aggressive and tendencies of other guys. So I think, you know, playing somebody again makes you lock in. And, you know, our goal is, you know, to win, you know, go all the way. And so I know it's one step at a time, but, you know, if we just continue to get better and have games like this where we play back-to-back, you know, same team in a couple of days, is already getting us ready for, you know, the playoff opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate that. Chris, just your overall first impressions of playing with the guys. I know obviously, you know, you had a chance to, you know, with that obviously starting, but what's your overall impressions of the first game and getting that first look with the guys?
Man, felt good. Felt really good. Shoot, I hadn't like scrimmage practice, not really. You know what I mean? So it was good to get up and down.
Okay. And just to follow that up, and you know, Monty said, well, look, the camera's just always on Chris. So we saw a lot of tonight, you talking with not just Deandre, but Mikal and Devin, even Tyshawn. What things are you trying to get across in those moments to move the needle forward with you guys?
I don't know. I think Mont right. It's just always on, but that's the game. It's not just me talking, Book talking, Jay Crowder talking, Coach talking. That's the way you become a team. You know, you don't just get to put it on paper and say it's going to be this, it's going to be that. We got to build, and so communication is the way that you build.
And lastly, what point were you trying to get across to Ayton? Because we saw in the pick and roll, you guys work effectively, and then obviously there were stretches. Maybe he wasn't ready for the pass. You know, I think at the beginning of the game, it was one of the situations. What points were you trying to get across to him just throughout the night?
Just trying to find out where he wants it, what he sees. I mean, today was our first time playing against somebody else. You know, we all been saying this. Every team been saying it. You know, usually you get the whole summer to play with one another, play, pick up, you know, all this different type of stuff. Today was the first time me and DA had played pick and roll, you know, together. So we're going to figure it out.
Lastly, have you ever been in a situation, Chris? You just said, you know, you play summer ball together. Have you ever been in a situation where show up 2 weeks later, you're on the floor with somebody?
Never. I mean, no, I ain't never been traded during the season or whatnot. But, I mean, this isn't, you know, a circumstance that any of us have ever been in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we all adjusting on the fly. There's no excuses. And what I tell you about us, we're going to figure it out. So.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
No problem.
Next up, we have Christos Saltas with Sports DNA Greece. He'll be followed by Kellen Olson.
Hello, Chris. You have some workouts with Devin Booker off-season during the off-season. Tonight was your first collaboration on the court as on a game. How you evaluate this collaboration with Devin Booker, and also what could we expect about the Suns to the next games?
Then we're gonna keep building. You know, not more, nothing less. You got to play with each other to figure things out. You know, so learning, you know, what Book likes the ball, where Mikal likes when he's gonna cut. I had a few turnovers tonight. You know, not sure this guy's gonna roll up. So it's all feel, and I was just excited to get out there and play so we can start building.
All right, next we have Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports. He'll be followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Chris, Monty and Mikal both mentioned after the game transition defense and struggling there. What is the key to a team that's successful in that specifically transition defense?
That's effort, that's communication, taking care of the ball. You know, start the second half, I gave up a 3 to Mike Conley, which sort of started the steamroll effect for us in that third quarter. So it started with me. So we got to, you know, I got to be better, we got to be better, and we will.
All right, next up we have Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Gerald Burgett.
I don't hear nothing.
We have you, Dwayne?
Yeah, I forgot to unmute.
bad problem, Chris. Sorry. I was just curious. You've gone through, starting the season so many times over, and Monty was saying how, the practice to the game and how it takes time for that to translate. In your experience, what usually leads to that transition where how you practice shows up in how you play?
It's rhythm, it's repetition, it's familiar, guys getting familiar with each other, is trust, and today, like I keep saying, it's my first day getting out there with the guys. So the more I think that happens, the more we'll start to build that trust. And we just continue to build. So one day at a time, win or lose right now, these preseason games, we building. So.
Okay. Follow that up, Chris. What things did you like tonight? What things are sticking with you in terms of what you liked and what you saw?
The way we shared the ball, the way we talked, we played well in spurts. But at the end of the day, we know in order to win games, you got to play for a longer period of time. The thing about our team, too, is that we got a good spirit. That's something that you can't really coach or fake. So we got a really good spirit about us. And I think as long as we continue to build, we'll be all right.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
All right, next up, we have Gerald Burgett with the step back. He'll be followed by Christos Saltis.
Hey, Chris, obviously with the shortened off season, it's been hard for you guys to kind of get back physically and get your win back and whatnot. How are you feeling physically, and how are some of the guys doing as far as, just getting their conditioning back into shape?
I think playing in Utah was a plus. Guys was talking about it. I've been running, doing workouts, all that. Nothing is like the game. So I really need it tonight. Can't wait for the next one. Can't wait to practice, because it's one thing coming off ball screens, just shooting around or whatnot, but it's different. Game speed is different. So I definitely felt it tonight, but got me excited to get back out there, and I can't wait to play again.
All right, our final question is going to come from Christos Saltis with Sports DNA Greece.
We saw you to talk with the young players like Jalen and with Mikal Bridges. How important part of the team will gonna be this season? These players.
I think it's important, not just me, Jay, Book, even some of the guys that we got, Etwan Moore, Langston Galloway, because the thing that we continue to talk about as a team, we got enough offensive power. We got to hang our hats on the defensive end. We build on the defensive end. I think it'll be a fun season for us.